Alright guys, so today I got a 2001 Kawasaki direct injected 3-seater. This guy was running a while ago, finally got it fixed up, and now it's not running again. Computer bummed out on it. The speedometer's still crapping out on me, and as you can tell, that back seat has seen better days. So today I'm gonna be fixing the back seat, gonna be getting the computer reinstalled. I got a somewhat new used speed sensor that I'm gonna be putting in there, and then here's all the stuff to reupholster the rear seat. And we also got the trailer back here. It's also seen better days. I got it completely fixed up, and then let it sit out here. You can see the paint's kind of chipping off. It's got some mold, needs a good cleaning. And then actually you can see right there, that's some of the primer, and the bare metal starting to rust on it. The jet ski actually slid off the back of the trailer and took some of that paint with it, and it's lacking a receiver hitch. So got a new receiver hitch for it, got some more paint, and gonna be making it look like brand new. So excuse the mess in our garage, but first thing we're gonna be doing is getting this seat fixed up. As you can tell, we got some of the foam is missing off of it. Cover's obviously shot. So we actually got some new cover for it. You can see the color that'll be going on that. We got some foam to go on it to replace where the old foam crapped out, and then we got some batting to help smooth it out and make it look a little better. So let's go ahead and get onto that. First off, we're going to be removing all of these little staples and taking this old vinyl off. Alright guys, so as you can see, we got the vinyl completely taken off of the seat. So now it's just a fresh seat. Now what we're going to do is we're basically going to level out the foam. You see right here, it's kind of pitted right here, and we got a couple of nicks right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this whole area out to about an inch deep, and then we're going to put the new foam over top. We're going to spray our spray glue or spray adhesive and glue that new foam to it. All right, so now the foam is dry, we're just gonna cut it and then take the grinder and smooth it all out, try to get it smooth as we can. All right guys, so as you can see, we got the foam all nice and level. Now it's just time to throw in that batting material. All right guys, so we got the batting all on, it's nice and smooth. Now it's time to put the vinyl on, get it all cut, stapled, and get it looking good. All right, so the seat is pretty much done. Other than these little rubber stops or whatever these are, they go on here and here. But other than that, the whole seat is pretty much done. I mean, it looks really good. It's nice and flat, super comfortable. I already tested it out and sat on it and everything. The only complaint that I have is that's not the same color. On the listing on Amazon, it looked a lot darker than this, in my defense. But I don't really care. I mean, it's a little different, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a seat, and I'm not really that concerned with it. I could spray paint it but I mean, I don't know. I think it looks fine the way it is, so I think we're gonna move on to getting that speedometer and the computer put back in the jet ski. All right, guys, so now that we got the seat done, it's time to move on to the little speed sensor down here. There's these 2 bolts right here. We got to remove, and then inside of there is a little connection and some sealant that we got to get out of there, and then we're gonna throw that new one in. All right, and just like that, only took us like 3 minutes, and we got our new part in. All right, so next we got to put the new computer back in, the repair computer, and then we got to put the new battery back in. All right, so now with the computer, what we're gonna have to do is, it's actually gonna mount like this. We're gonna put our 2 connectors in the back, our big connector in the front, connect our cooling lines on left and right sides, and then we have 3 mounting bolts that will go into the bracket down here. Don't know if you can see that. And the bracket will mount to the actual fiberglass of the hole on the jet ski. All right, guys, I don't know if you can see in there, but the computer is all rigged up and mounted, and it's good to go. So now the only thing we got left to do is get this battery mounted back in its spot. You can see the casing for it and the little slot down there for it. So we're just gonna throw that in there, get it bolted up, and we should be able to start it. All right, guys, so the battery is now inside, all hooked up. So I'm gonna grab the keys and see if it works. We got dash. Let's grab our engine cutoff switch, put it in there, and see if she fires. Okay, well, she fires, but that's a lot of smoke. All right, so I'm gonna throw it on some cooling water, see if she runs good. Alright guys, so as you can see, it's running real good. I guess the next thing to do is just take it out on the water, but before we can do that, we got to get that trailer fixed up. So all we got to do to the trailer now is basically just give it a good wash, sand some of the paint off that's been peeling, sand some of that rust off, get it reprimed and repainted, and then throw the receiver hitch back on the tongue, and she should be ready to take to the lake. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is basically we're going to give it a spray down with the pressure washer and then hit it with a little bit of bleach. You can see a little test spot there. It's nice and clean, but there is still a little bit of that mold in there, so we're just going to hit it with the pressure washer, spray some bleach on it, hopefully get all this mold off of it, and then we'll hit it with our sandpaper with the sand disc, and then we'll hit it with some primer and paint and get it looking back to how it was before. Alright guys, so got it all nice and pressure washed, sprayed down. As you can see, it's still got some mold in it and some spots, so still need to hit it with that bleach, but for just the spray down with the pressure washer, it looks pretty good. So I'll show you all the stuff I'm using. It's literally this pool chlorinating liquid. Found it at Walmart. It is 10% sodium hypochlorite, which basically is a very strong mix of essentially bleach. I got it in here. It's diluted 1-to-1, so it's actually 5% in here. It's a little strong, but it is Rust-Oleum enamel paint, and I've done it times before and it's never given me an issue. Any of the paint that's already peeling is pretty done for, so I'm not really concerned about it. So we're just gonna spray this on, let it sit for about 15 minutes, and hopefully all these little mold patches will go away. As you guys can see, it's actually pretty insane how fast this stuff works. There's pretty much 0 spots of mold left. I mean, it's started working probably within the first 5-10 seconds I hit it. It was pretty much already gone. So I did hit it with about 2 passes just to be safe. But I mean, there's virtually no mold left on this thing. So what we're gonna do now is I've got some 110 grit sandpaper on the orbital sander, and we're just going to give it a nice sanding on all these little rusty spots, like along here, and along the little wheel well. So wherever you see rust, I'm going to sand it down, and then we'll throw a liner on the floor, and then we'll go ahead and get primed and paint on the trailer. Alright guys, so we got the whole trailer sanded. Definitely doesn't look pretty, but it'll help that paint stick to it a lot better. I've got some degreaser that I'm diluting right now. I'm about to just throw it on with the scrub brush and go over all the areas and scrub them to get all the dust off and all the grease and anything that might still be on the paint off. And then we'll move on with the next step. Alright guys, so the metal's dried. I got the tarp put down. And actually a cool little trick is if you just take trash bags and fit them around your wheel, it'll pretty much make like a perfect cover for them. And then I ran out of stuff to wrap it with, so I literally put some, it's like that landscaping mesh that goes in the beds to stop the weeds from growing. I literally just put that on the bunks to try to get the paint off of them. So I mean, we pretty much have it prepped. Now we just gotta prime it, follow the instructions on the can, and then paint it. Alright guys, so this is pretty much going to do it for the painting part of the trailer. I mean, this thing looks good. This thing looks about brand new. I did have to end up painting those U-bolts. Got a little overspray on the lights and on the little license plate tag holder. Not on the license plate itself, of course, but I mean, this thing looks good. It looks about brand new. I didn't get any on paint on the bunks, thank God. But we're just gonna throw this receiver hitch back on the tongue real quick, and then let it dry probably overnight. And then tomorrow or whenever we take it out on the lake, I will throw the jet ski back on the trailer. Alright guys, so it's actually been about 2 weeks since I've last recorded anything on the blue jet ski, but we're out on the lake today. We're going to give it a little test run. It's been running good, so we shouldn't have any issues, but we'll just see how it goes.